for the Nissan Sugarbelt 400, organised by the Natal Off-Road Motor Club and rated as the best organised event in 2002. Headquarters for the event were at the Beaumont Eston Farmers Club, situated some 40 kilometres from Pietermaritzburg. Weather conditions on the Friday were sunny and hot, but a cold front and a 60% chance of rain was predicted for Saturday. The morning was spent going through documentation and scrutineering in preparation for the afternoon's 50-kilometre prologue to determine starting positions for the main event on Saturday, which would consist of 3 laps of a 130-kilometre course. Victory on the Nissan Dealer 400 in the Western Cape gave Hannes Grobler and Richard Leek and the proudly South African Nissan Hardbody an early lead in the Production Vehicle Championship. The highly experienced crew had won the last 4 events on a trot. 25-year-old Mark Cronje made his off-road debut in the Western Cape, and he and co-driver Chris Birkin surprised the off-road fraternity by finishing 3rd overall and 1st in Class E in the Castrol Toyota Hilux. Third placed, father and son Johannes and Martinez van der Merwe from Harry Smith won Class D in the Giovanni Mitsubishi Colt. Arpi Reinecker and Robin Houghton's performance in the Castrol Toyota Land Cruiser secured them 4th place in the championship, with veteran rally and off-road driver Kasi Kutsia and Oki Furi 5th in their Castrol Toyota Hilux KZTE. Nissan tops the championship points table, and it was a good start to the season for the Castrol Toyota squad, with 3 crews in the top 5 after the first round of the championship. Atang Mahachanene and Mike Stangl were one of only 4 finishers in the special category in the Nissan Dealer 400, and their overall victory puts them at the top of the championship log. Former Class B champion Gil Nel won Class B and finished 2nd overall in the Luke Africa Truggy and occupies 2nd place in the Special Vehicle Championship. Former production vehicle driver Andrew Birkin made his debut in the special vehicle category and picked up 3rd overall and 2nd in Class B in the Wingfoot, while reigning Class B champions Marcus Taylor and Marc de Charlene had to settle for 4th overall and 3rd in Class B. The Special Vehicle Championship is wide open, and those who didn't make the trip to the Western Cape or failed to finish the event will have ample opportunity to play catch-up. The mood in the Team Ford racing camp was upbeat after the recent arrival of the newly rebuilt Ford Ranger. French outfit SBM had been hard at work since January rebuilding the accident-damaged vehicle and had made significant changes to improve performance.
Yeah, our car's back from our bad accident which we had late last year. We had a suspension problem in the Carnival City, and the car was basically destroyed. We thought the car was written off completely, but on closer examination they managed to salvage the roll cage out of it. So we sent it back to Europe, and they've been working feverishly on it since then, and we got it back about 2 weeks ago. And we're very, very excited about it. Fantastic to have it back. I must say, at one stage I didn't think it would be coming back, but it's back, and with the new V6 motor in it, it's unbelievable. It's really, really good. We went and tested last weekend. We had a good quality test. We did about 150 kilometers, and it's fantastic. It's really, really good. It's still not as good as it's going to be, because for the next race in the desert we'll have the 3.4 motor, which will give us a bit more torque and also a bit more power. But even for this race, it's really, really good. We've managed to save nearly 200 kgs in weight, because we've come down in engine capacity from the 4.6 V8 engine which we had. We've now come down to a 3.2 litre V6. So it's been a twofold exercise where we've got more power, we've got more torque, but most importantly we've been able to lose 200 kgs in weight. And I think that's really what's made the car that much better. It just feels so much lighter and more nimble. We can brake that much later. It really, really feels good.
The 50-kilometre prologue was cancelled after a cane fire made the route impassable. Half the field managed to complete the prologue, but race officials decided to seed the field according to past performances. The number 1 starting position went to Geniel de Villiers and Francois Jordan in the Class T proudly South African Nissan hardbody, and they would be followed a minute later by teammates Hannes Grobler and Richard Leek in another Class T proudly South African Nissan hardbody. The onboard camera provides a bird's eye view of what the co-driver goes through in the cockpit.
No, intercom, to your right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, 600.
Neil Woolridge and Kenny Skoldhammer were seeded third in the Team Ford Racing Ranger, now with a very different exhaust note compared to that of the V8 previously used. Husband and wife Gerard and Kubi du Plessis would be the leading special vehicle away at 8 o'clock the following day, and would have last year's Nissan Sugarbelt 400 winner John Weir-Smith and co-driver Jeff Minnett hard on their heels in the O'Hagan's Kopanong Hotel Super Team Jimco. Mahachanene won this event as a co-driver in 2000, and he and Stangl were seeded 6th in the Sam Racing Jimco. Reigning production vehicle champions Duncan Foss and Mike Griffith rolled their Nissan and were faced with a midfield start had the prologue not been cancelled. Starting 7th was a godsend. 2002 Toyota 1000 winner Greg Dowse and Archie Rutherford were seeded 8th in the Mitsubishi 3.5-litre twin-turbo powered Nashua Mobile Racing Chenoweth. KZN crew Gerald Mundell and Billy Bond would start 9th in the locally designed and built Nissan V6 powered Prolong Bat, while veteran racer and former Nissan Sugarbelt 400 winner Cliff Barker and Vic Camper would start 10th in the Barker Performance Products Land Rover. So there you have the 10 fastest vehicles in the SA Off-Road Championship, with a 50-50 split between the production and special vehicles. The Nissan Motorsport technicians were hard at work repairing the damage to the Nissan hardbody, which looked a little worse for wear after Foss rolled it.
Everything else is no, Cameron got it. Yeah, in the time trial, about 13 Ks into the time trial, we hit something really hard, and I think we obviously must have punctured our right rear tyre, and it was slowly getting flatter and flatter, and then we came up to a fast section followed by a hairpin left turn, and as I turned in, the wheel or the tyre must have collapsed off the rim, and as I turned in, it just gave way and we rolled the car. So the windscreen popped, the air vents, the side mirrors, but everything was fine. The steering was straight and the car was perfect. It started first time, so we could carry on.
No problems in the Ford camp. But not so in the Toyota camp.
I think it was third corner, not even a kilometre into the route. A rock sort of half hidden in the side of the road, hit it. We thought we got away with it. The handling was a bit off. I think it knocked the toe out quite a lot. We thought, okay, well, there's a bit of bad luck. We caught Duncan Foss. We were in his dust, so the pace couldn't have been too bad. And about 35 kilometres in, we came up to a very tricky instruction. I think we had Duncan Foss reversing on us and a tongue coming from the front. So we saw a little road to right, turned in there, and there was a tiniest little ditch. One would go over 5,000 times, the only problem, and we think there was a stress fracture already in the front axle, and the pins that hold the knuckle together just sheared completely off, so we have a 3-wheel Land Cruiser at the moment.
On board with Mark Cronje in the Castrol Toyota Hilux, which also didn't survive the 50-kilometre prologue.
The road seemed to have opened up. It looked almost like a rally road, and I thought finally we're getting to some flat ground, and picked up the pace a little bit, came into a corner, and the corner started tightened up on me, and there was a yump in the middle of the corner. We couldn't see it, and I decided I had to slow it down because I was going to jump off the end of the mountain, and as I came on slowed the vehicle down, it came into like an oversteer, and the rear nudge bar just clipped a tree, and it spun us around into the yump, and the yump just launched us right over. Actually flipped right over and landed on the back of the vehicle and rolled into a tree, which basically stopped us. So yeah, it was a bit of an experience, and hopefully you don't need to go through that again.
The cold front had moved in,